An historical artifact never before seen in Denver is now on display downtown, and History Colorado is displaying a few pages of this, a treaty that drastically changed the borders between the United States and Mexico.
The exhibit marks 175 years since the Mexican-American War came to an end, and this morning Jeremy Hajola got to see it and has more on its significance.
Yeah, of course, we're talking about the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which, as you said, was signed 175 years ago yesterday, to be exact. Yeah, 4 pages of this historical document come from the National Archives to History Colorado to the State's Museum downtown on Broadway. This treaty drastically changed the lives of so many people, especially Indigenous and Hispanic families who suddenly found the border crossing them. Mexico gave up more than 500,000 square miles to the United States, including portions of Colorado, California, Arizona, New Mexico in this treaty. One of the pages on display bears the signatures of the men who signed it, forever changing the lives of people and their descendants today. As the United States now had more land, the U.S. government forced Native Americans onto reservations. Corruption led to the stealing of Spanish land grants with the strokes of pens on paper. A section of the treaty that was designed to protect these old land grants was taken out before it was signed. This treaty profoundly changed the borders and also identity.
Sure, the Hispanic identity was definitely affected by the document. It meant that people who once thought of themselves as Mexican or just Hispano, indigenous to the area, that they were now American citizens, and they found themselves sort of at the bottom of a pecking order all of a sudden as their lands were taken away, as the industries that they depended on were wiped away by the extractive industries that were brought in by the Anglo-Americans.
And you can now check out the pages at the History Colorado Borderlands exhibit downtown. They'll be on display until May 22nd. Pretty cool to see this in person, too. And we also have a gallery on 9news.com so you can see what's on display.
I saw a shirt today, and now I understand. The shirt saying, I didn't cross the border crossed me.
Exactly. A lot of people from southern Colorado and northern New Mexico have that phrase. Their families have been saying that for many years.
I hadn't heard it till today.
Yeah, the families have been saying that for generations.
What did you think seeing that? Was it?
The treaty still has a profound effect on families today, right? Yeah. Especially me as a Hispanic man who's had to kind of grapple with my own identity. That treaty opened up the West, and it really changed people's identities very swiftly, and we're still seeing that today as people.
Yeah, so relevant 175 years later.
Yeah, still. And it's funny to see the names of the people who signed these treaties with strokes of the pen, how it just changed the West, including Colorado, so drastically, so quickly. And the funny story is the guy who orchestrated it on behalf of the United States, he kind of did it without permission.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so when you read about the history of how this came to be, because, travel and communication didn't happen with an iPhone.
Right.
Yeah.
So he kind of did this treaty without permission, and he was worried that, President Polk at the time was going to come down hard on him. But, because of him, we have the borders that we have today.
Doing some math in my head, it was 30 years before statehood for Colorado.
Yeah.
This goes way, way, way back. It would be fun for people to learn. A great opportunity to educate yourself.
Yeah, and this treaty is constantly mentioned in court cases, in history. It's just really something to actually see the wax seals on the document, see the names, and see the pages. It's really something. It's very tangible.
The real deal.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, thanks.